Hey guys, it's me Christina and I have a book review of Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. My dog decided to decimate it last night when I was sleeping. Um, but I taped the Y from Ugly Love back on and I'm a little sad. Look at this. But the book is in perfect condition. I think it kind of makes sense because of the story and that's how I interpret it to myself so I don't cry that my dog bit my book. Um, anyway, this is a book about a kind of no strings attached relationship with a girl named Kate and a boy named Miles. So when they first meet, uh, Tate is moving in with her brother in this apartment that I think the pilot place owns, and I really didn't understand it that much, but it was this book was amazing. It frustrated me at times. I was either crying or angry or laughing at some parts, and but it's this weird kind of love story, if you will, because when they first meet, it wasn't the most friendly introduction. Miles was drunk when they met, and she had to drag him in her apartment because he is Corbin's friend that they met in school when they were going for their pilot license, and it was very interesting to read about that, and he lives across the hall and from Corbin, from Tate and Corbin and Tate, and I liked Miles because I thought he was funny at times, and especially the scene when they go to Thanksgiving, I was laughing hysterically, and but Tate was pretty mad at him because of how they met, and so he's like, let's have a reintroduction. So they reintroduce themselves on the elevator, and I thought that was sweet. This other character that I love so much is Cap, and he is so insightful. And of course he'd be I just love him. He's and I'm pretty sure he was shipping um, Tate and Miles the entire time this thing was going on, and I thought that was so funny. Especially when it was the hot tub scene. That was hilarious. And so they decide to have this not friends with benefits, because they're not really friends, and it's really weird because Miles hasn't been with a girl in 6 years, and when we first meet him, I thought he was just gonna be this player boy, but no, he's not. He hasn't been with a girl in 6 years because of this other girl, Rachel, and we hear about Rachel because it's in Miles' point of view from the past. And so we get to know he fell for this girl named Rachel, who apparently was his dad's girlfriend's daughter, and that was awkward. So they start dating behind the father and mother's back. Miles' mother died of cancer, and it was terrible. And he was pretty sure that his father was cheating on his mom when he was sick, and I didn't want to like the father because of that. And I just didn't like him in general, the father. He just irked me, and I just But I did like getting into Miles's head because Miles is like, he has rules like when it comes to like Tate, like she's not allowed to ask about his past, and I thought that was very odd. Like, why can't she ask about your past? Why can't she know things about you? Like, that's just weird. But like at Thanksgiving when they finally decide to do this, Corbin thought Miles was gay, and I'm gonna try to find that scene because it is hilarious. Um, I'm not sure if I should reread the entire scene. It's short. It says, I say, Miles isn't gay, I say defensively, looking at my mother. Why did I say that out loud? Now Corbin looks confused. He looked at Miles. A spoonful of potatoes is paused mid-air in front of Miles, and his eyebrow is cocked. He's staring at Corbin. Oh shit, Corbin says. I didn't know a secret. Dude, I'm so sorry. Miles lowers his spoonful of mashed potatoes to his plate, still eyeing Corbin with a perplexed look. I'm not gay. Corbin nods. He holds on his palm. I'm sorry, like, he didn't mean to reveal his big secret. Miles shakes his head. Corbin, I'm not gay. Never have been, and I'm pretty sure I never will be. What the hell, man? Corbin and Miles are staring at each other, and everyone else is watching. But, Corbin says, you said one time you told me. Miles dropped his spoon and covered his mouth with his hand. Echoing his loud laughter. Oh my god, Miles. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Please think this is the funniest thing ever happened because your laugh is so much better than Thanksgiving dinner. What did I say to you that made you think I was gay? Corbin sits back in his chair. I don't remember exactly. You said something about not being with a girl in more than 3 years. I thought that was your way of telling me you were gay. Everyone's laughing now, even me. That was more than 3 years ago. This whole time you thought I was gay. I just thought that was so funny. And then Miles enters his hand, and he's like to take, just sew it up here. She's like, okay, if your hand falls off, I forget what she says exactly. I do remember posting it somewhere. I think she said like something about like if your hand falls off, you can't like blame me or something. And if you die, like, and he's like, if I'm dead, I don't think I can blame you. And I thought that was so funny. So they decide to have like this like no strings attached relationship, and then when they are kissing downstairs, the father catches him and he says, definitely not gay. And I thought that was so funny. So when they go back home, they decide to officially do this, and I felt like Miles was leading Corbin on, not Corbin, Tate on at times, because I can tell she was falling for him and he was falling for her, but he didn't want to say anything, and she just would let him do these things to her, like, not like physically hurtful, but emotionally hurtful. Like, he left her one time, like, when she was, like, sitting on the table after they hooked up, and it was very weird, and they're hiding this from her brother, and Ian, the best friend from when he was younger, is in the story too, and we do get to hear more about like Rachel and like his past, and we find out that she gets pregnant, and I know something big is gonna happen. I just didn't know when, and I was like, so they get pregnant, they tell the parents, they're gonna go to college, he's gonna go to pilot school. I don't understand the whole pilot thing. And they have this baby, it's a boy, they name it Clayton because they met when they were going to Mr. Clayton's class, and I thought that was very sweet, very cute. I was like, if he has a kid, that won't bother me because Tate and him can still be together. Even though he's like closed off about his past and things like that. And then this big event happens, like so big that I was in utter tears. So when they had this baby and like everything's fine, everybody's happy-go-lucky, um, um, Miles and Rachel, they're headed home with the baby, and then they crash the car. I kind of knew it was gonna be a car crash. I just didn't know how extreme. They freaking crash into a lake, and I was just like crying. And Rachel was like, save him!" And he saves her, and Miles tries to save the baby, and she can't. And oh my god, it's so heartbreaking. I was like crying this entire time. And then Tate and Miles, they're just like, she obviously loves him, and she's like, if you won't just admit, like, you can't even admit that you miss me or love me, like, she like snaps, and she just like can't. And then Ian is like yelling at Miles, like, you have been like hurting about this, walking around like a zombie for 6 years after this traumatic event, and it's terrible, and like it's so bad. And I love this book because it was heartbreakingly beautiful. And then Miles goes to visit Rachel, and Rachel is married, and she has a daughter named Claire, which was going to be Clayton's name if it was a girl. And I was like sobbing at this point because she made him see this baby, and he's like, you gave him a sister. And I was bawling, and he's like, Rachel was like, you have to let yourself love again, because you're still gonna hurt, but there's gonna be moments. And I can see where she's coming from. And like, he goes to find Tate, and oh my god, it was like, she's like, oh my god, if he's drunk again. And I thought that was like so funny. But no, and he had been there for 6 hours, and he said, the night that you found me would have been my son's 6th birthday. And then I was bawling again. And it was so sad. And then they started dating, and then they go into this plane with Cap, who apparently has known Miles' family for like years and has been working for them. And I thought that was so funny. And it was just an amazing book. So he brings us to Boston. He's like, will you move in with me? And I was like, that's so sweet. And then he asked her to marry him, and I thought it was so sweet, and I loved this book. It was heartbreaking at times. Miles frustrated me at times. Tate frustrated me because I knew she loved this guy, but he didn't want more. But they needed to admit it to themselves, and it was really hard at times. But I just think everyone should read this book. Like, everyone. Like, it's just so good. And I would see like some people not liking this book, but I love Colleen Hoover, and I will read anything she writes. So yeah, and then they have a child, and a daughter, and they name it Sam after Cap, who is Samuel. And I just thought this book was amazing. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Happy reading. Bye, guys.